Hey guys, back with another video, and this week I would like to talk about using a belt for lifting. There's quite a bit of controversy over using a weight belt. Should you use one? Should you not use one? Should you use it all the time? Should you never use it? I think I have a little bit of a unique perspective on this after competing in bodybuilding and powerlifting. I lifted without a belt for a long time, and I've lifted with a belt for a long time. I think there's not much research out there that suggests that you need to get to a certain level of strength before you add a belt. I hear a lot, don't add a belt until you can at least squat 2 plates or 3 plates or some arbitrary number. I think it's probably a good idea to build a certain amount of beltless strength, but I don't have a number for that. And I honestly don't think it's a bad idea to add a belt whenever you're just ready to add a belt, especially if you want to compete in powerlifting. A belted squat is going to be a slightly different movement than a beltless squat. So if you're going to compete with a belt, it probably makes sense to do the majority of your training with a belt. If you're a bodybuilder, how much application do they have? Well, a belt will still allow you to use more weight, which possibly could lead to more overload on your legs and create possibly more muscle growth. A lot of people have hypothesized that a belt could weaken your core because it's providing some sort of a crutch. The research studies on belts seem to show that it doesn't decrease abdominal activity or core activity. It does shift the focus. So in people who are using a belt, you get more activation of your front abs and your obliques and side abdominals. You don't get as much activation there. So I guess if you were really concerned about weakening your core, you could do things that activated your obliques, like planks, extra reps on oblique exercises, those sorts of things. You can also really focus on, when you're using a belt, to brace not just your front abs, but all around your core. And that's a cue I use a lot when I squat. I try to think about not just activating the abs right here. I think about trying to activate my entire core when I use the belt. Again, there's not really that much research out there on this. So I don't want you guys to take what I'm saying and think, well, Layne said this, so this is the rule. It's not. We don't have that much research out there. What I will say is I don't think the research shows that it's more dangerous or detrimental in any way. I think that if you want to use a belt or you plan to compete with a belt, it's probably good to do the majority of your training with the belt. I don't think you need to do all your training with the belt. If you have, for example, I had a rib injury from squatting with a belt. That I needed to give time to heal. So I actually did a lot of beltless squats during that time. I also actually put a piece of neoprene on the inside of my belt, and that seemed to help that heal as well. Again, no set right or wrong way to do things, but in general, if you're not a powerlifter, personal preference. If you are a powerlifter, probably use the belt the majority of your training since you plan to compete with it. All right, guys, if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and as always, you may purchase some of our fine merchandise through the shit links in my description. I will catch you next time.